Welcome to Brave Voice English. Listen, read, and learn English with short stories. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin.
The Girl Who Waited. In a small village near the mountains, there lived a girl named Lila. She was 16 years old and had long black hair, quiet brown eyes, and a heart full of dreams. Every day, she helped her mother in the garden, swept the floor, washed the clothes, and cooked rice for dinner. Her life was simple, but she didn't complain. She was a kind and patient girl. But Lila had a secret. Every evening, just before sunset, she walked to the old train station at the edge of the village. The train station hadn't been used in many years. The tracks were rusty, the building was covered with vines, and the roof was broken in some places. No one else went there anymore. But Lila went there every day. She sat on the old wooden bench, looked at the empty tracks, and waited. People in the village started to notice. "Why does she go there?" an old man asked. "She's strange," said a woman. "That place is abandoned." "Maybe she's waiting for someone," said a little boy. Lila never explained. She simply smiled and kept walking to the station each evening. The reason Lila waited began many years ago, when she was just 8 years old. Back then, her best friend was a boy named Eli. Eli was a year older than Lila. They played together every day. They climbed trees, chased butterflies, and made boats from leaves to float in the river. They were always together, like the sun and the sky. One day, Eli told her, "My family is leaving the village." Lila's eyes grew wide. "Leaving? Why?" "My father got a job in the city. We're moving next week." Lila felt her heart break. "But what about me?" Eli held her hand and said, "I'll come back for you. One day, when we're older. I promise." Lila looked into his eyes. "You promise?" "I do. I'll take the train. When you see the train coming, it will be me." Lila smiled, though tears were in her eyes. She believed him. She trusted him. The day Eli left, he hugged her tightly at the old train station. Then the train came, loud and fast, and he waved from the window as it carried him away. That was the last time Lila saw Eli. After Eli left, Lila began going to the train station every evening. At first, she thought he would return in a few weeks, maybe a few months. But weeks became months. Months became years. Still, Lila waited. Sometimes, her mother would say gently, "Lila, maybe you should stop going there. He's probably forgotten." But Lila shook her head. "He promised. I will wait." Some villagers laughed at her. Others felt sorry for her. A few even admired her. One day, her teacher asked, "Why wait, Lila?" She answered, "Because love is not about time. It's about believing." Years passed. Lila grew taller. Her voice became softer. Her eyes, once full of wonder, became calm and still. She continued to help her mother, study, and smile at others. But the train station remained her quiet place. Her place of hope. Spring would come with flowers blooming along the tracks. Birds would sing above the broken roof. In summer, the sun would shine on the old sign that read Maple Station. In autumn, the leaves would fall and cover the rails. And in winter, snow would rest on the bench where Lila sat. But no train came. And still, she waited. One day, when Lila was almost 20 years old, a stranger came to the village. He wore a grey coat, had a notebook in his hand, and asked a lot of questions. "Do you know a girl named Lila?" he asked the shopkeeper. "Yes, the one who waits at the old station," said the shopkeeper. "Everyone knows her." The stranger went to the station one evening. He saw Lila sitting there, her hands folded in her lap, watching the horizon. He walked up to her. "You're Lila?" She nodded slowly. "I've heard about you. My name is Jonas. I'm a writer." "A writer?" "Yes. I travel from place to place, looking for stories." "And yours, it's beautiful." Lila smiled a little. "It's just a promise. But you've kept it for so long." "Because I believe in it." Jonas sat beside her on the bench. "Has he written to you?" "No." "Called you?" "No." "Then how do you know he'll come?" She looked at the tracks, then said softly, because he said he would. Jonas didn't know what to say. He stayed quiet and watched the sky turn orange and pink as the sun went down. Jonas kept visiting the station. Not every day, but often. He brought Lila tea sometimes. Other times, he brought paper and read what he wrote. "I'm writing your story," he told her one day. "People need to know about you. About love that waits." Lila didn't say much, but she listened. In his story, Jonas described the way she sat on the bench with patience. The way her eyes followed the tracks. The way hope never left her face. "Is it silly?" he asked once. "No," Lila said. "It's kind." The two became friends. Sometimes they didn't talk. They just sat together and watched the sky. One rainy evening, as Lila was getting ready to go to the station, her mother stopped her. "Wait, Lila. There's a letter for you." Lila's heart skipped. She had not received a letter in years. The envelope was plain. Her name was written on the front in neat handwriting. She opened it slowly. Inside was a short message. "Dear Lila. I'm sorry it has taken so long. I never forgot you. I thought of you every day. Life has been hard, but I kept going, hoping to come back. I will be on the 6 o'clock train this Sunday. Please wait for me one last time." Lila held the letter close to her heart. Tears filled her eyes. He was coming. He remembered. Sunday came. It was bright and sunny. The whole village seemed to be holding its breath. Lila wore a white dress. Her mother brushed her hair. Jonas stood by with his notebook. The old station was quiet, as always. But something felt different. The air was warmer. The birds were louder. The sky was clearer. People started to gather, curious. "Do you think the train will really come?" someone asked. "No train has come in 10 years, said another. But Lila believed. She sat on the bench, just like always. At exactly 6 o'clock, there was a sound in the distance. A low hum. A vibration. Then a whistle. Everyone turned to the tracks. Out of the horizon, a train appeared. It was old, but it was moving. Slowly, carefully, it came closer. Dust rose as it approached the station. The villagers gasped. The train stopped with a screech. The doors opened. And there he was. Eli. Older now. Taller. His face was thin, but his eyes were the same, warm and full of light. He stepped out and looked at Lila. "I told you I'd come back." Lila stood slowly. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes were full of tears. "I waited." He smiled and walked toward her. And in front of everyone, he took her hands in his and whispered, "Thank you for believing in me." That evening, the village was alive with joy. People laughed, cried, and celebrated. The station that had once been forgotten was full of life again. Jonas smiled as he closed his notebook. He knew the final line of his story. And the girl who waited was never alone again. Lila and Eli walked through the village, hand in hand. They had a lot to talk about, many years to catch up on. But none of that mattered at the moment. What mattered was that he came back. And she had waited. And love, true love, had found its way home. Lila and Eli didn't leave the village. They rebuilt the old train station and turned it into a small library and cafe. Children would come to read, and travelers would stop for tea. At the entrance, there was a sign that read, "The Girl Who Waited, A Story of Hope." People came from far away to hear the tale. Jonas published his book, and it became famous. But Lila didn't care about fame. She only cared that the promise was kept. And that sometimes, even when the world forgets, love remembers. Because there's something magical about waiting, not with fear, but with faith. And Lila was the girl who waited. And won.